Good morning and welcome to the finals of EDUC 100. Okay, so for now, I will be discussing the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, or also known as the CRC, and the PD603, also known as the Presidential Decree number 603. Okay, so let us start first with the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, or CRC. Okay, so the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child is a landmark international treaty that sets out the civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights of children. So it was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in November 20, 1989 and entered into force on September 2, 1990. So the CRC is the most widely ratified human rights treaty in history, with almost every country in the world being a party to it. So the CRC consists of 54 articles that covers a wide range of rights and protections for children. Some key provisions include the first one is the non-discrimination, second one best interest of the child, right to life, survival and development, right to education, right to health, protection from violence, abuse and exploitation, freedom of expression, right to play and leisure, right to privacy, and lastly is the participation. Okay, so when we say non-discrimination, so children have the right to be treated equally and without discrimination regardless of their race, their ethnicity, their gender, disability, religion, or other status. Best interest of the child in all actions concerning the children. The best interest of a child must be a primary consideration. Right to life, survival, and development. Children have the inherent right to life and the right to develop their fullest potential. So the right to education. Children have the right to access quality education that aims to develop their personality, talents, and abilities. Right to health, of course, children have the right to access healthcare services, clean water, nutritious food, and safe environment to grow and develop. Protection from violence, abuse, and exploitation. Okay, so in here, children have the right to be protected from all forms of physical and mental violence, abuse, neglect, exploitation, and trafficking. Freedom of expression. So in here, children have the right to express their views freely and to have those views taken into account in matters that affect them. Right to play and leisure. So here, children have the right to engage in play, recreational activities, and cultural life appropriate to their age. Right to privacy, of course, also these children have the right to have the right to privacy, including the digital environment. And lastly is the participation. So in here, children have the right to participate in decisions that affect them and to have their opinions heard and to be considered. Okay, so to sum up, the CRC represents a significant commitment by the international community to promote and protect the rights of the children. Okay, so CRC serves as a comprehensive framework for governments, policymakers, and civil society organizations to develop laws, policies, and programs that advance children's rights and ensure their well-being and development. Now let's proceed to PD603, or the Presidential Decree number 603. So it is also known as the Child and Youth Welfare Code. So it is a law here in the Philippines that was enacted in 1974. So, presidential decree is a comprehensive legal framework aimed at promoting and protecting the rights and welfare of children and youth in our country. Alright, so Presidential Decree number 603 has 7 key provisions included. So first one is the protection from abuse and exploitation. Okay, so in here the law prohibits the exploitation of children, including child labor and trafficking. So it also mandates the protection of children from physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. Second one is the right to education. So in here, Presidential Decree number 603 emphasizes the importance of education for children, and it mandates the government to ensure access to quality education for all children. Number 3 is the health and welfare. So in here, the law provides for the health and welfare of children. So it includes access to healthcare services, nutrition programs, and social services. Number 4 is the juvenile justice. PD603 or the Presidential Decree number 603 includes provisions for the rehabilitation and reintegration of children in conflict with the law. Of course, it emphasizes their rights and the importance of their rehabilitation rather than punishment. Number 5 is the adoption and foster care. So the law regulates the process of adoption and foster care. So it ensures that the children are placed in safe and suitable homes. And of course, number 7, the last one, the parental responsibilities. So it includes the parents' responsibilities to their children. Okay, so to sum up the Presidential Decree number 603, so basically it serves as a legal framework for the protection and promotion of rights and welfare of children in the Philippines. So it addresses various aspects of child welfare, including protection from abuse and exploitation, access to education and healthcare, juvenile justice, and support for adoption and foster care. So basically, the law reflects the Philippines' commitment to upholding the rights of children and ensuring their well-being and development. Okay, so CRC or the Convention on Rights of the Children and PD603 or Presidential Decree number 603 share similar goals of safeguarding the rights and welfare of children. So basically, they are separate legal instruments with their own provisions and scope. Presidential Decree 600 number 603 specifically applies within the jurisdiction here in the Philippines, while the CRC is an international treaty that applies globally. However, countries like here in the Philippines that have ratified the CRC are obligated to implement its provisions within our national legal framework. So now let's proceed to the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Okay, so the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013 is officially known as the RA 10627 or Republic Act number 10627. So it is a Philippine law aimed at addressing bullying in schools. Okay, so as defined, the law defines bullying as any severe or repeated use of verbal, physical, or electronic communication or gesture that causes harm to a student. So this harm can be physical, emotional, or property related. So examples might be verbal bullying. So when we say verbal bullying, it may include name calling, teasing, spreading humors, or making derogatory remarks. Second one is the physical bullying. So it might be hitting, kicking, pushing, or any form of physical aggressions. And last might be cyberbullying. Okay, so in here, sending threatening or derogatory messages through social media, emails, or text messages. Okay, so the coverage of the Anti-Bullying Act is committed within the school premises, during school activities, or through electronic means. For example, bullying that occurs in the classroom, hallways, playgrounds, or school buses. Second one is bullying incidents during extracurricular activities, such as sports events or school trips. And last might be the cyberbullying through social media platforms, online forums, or text messages outside the school hours. So the responsibilities of the school. So schools are mandated to adopt policies and programs to prevent and address bullying incidents. Examples of school responsibilities include maybe we can develop anti-bullying process policies and procedures. They can conduct awareness campaigns and educational programs for students and staff. And last, they can actually implement strategies for early intervention and support for both victims and perpetrators. So what will now be the role of DepEd? So here DepEd, or the Department of Education, plays a crucial role in ensuring compliance with the law and provides support to schools. So DepEd are providing guidelines and resources for schools to develop anti-bullying programs. They are also the one conducting training sessions for teachers and administrators on handling bullying cases. And lastly, they are monitoring and evaluating the implementation of anti-bullying initiatives across schools. So the protection for these victims, RA 10627, or the Anti-Bullying Act, aims to protect victims of bullying and prevent further harm. For example, they are providing counseling and support services for victims of bullying. They also implement disciplinary actions against bullies to deter future incidents. And they are creating a culture of reporting and support where victims feel safe and speak up about their experiences. The responsibilities of parents or guardians. So in here, the parents or guardians are encouraged to collaborate with schools in addressing bullying incidents involving their children. So parental responsibilities might include they can monitor their child's behavior and online activities to prevent involvement in bullying. So teaching empathy and respect towards others, of course. And last might be communicating with school authorities if their child is involved in a bullying incident or their child is a victim. So what might be the penalty? The law imposes penalties for schools or individuals who fail to comply with its provisions. For example of penalties may include suspension or revocation of the school's permit or license to operate, disciplinary actions against school personnel who neglect their duties in addressing bullying incidents, and last might be legal consequences for individuals engaged in severe cases of bullying, such as physical assault or harassment. So to conclude, by addressing these key points and implementing appropriate measures, the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013 aims to create a safer and more inclusive environment for students in Philippine schools. Thank you for listening, guys.